probably edge towards Terence Crawford, but Errol Spence is a brilliant fighter. So, but if you ask me, I'll go Crawford.
To me, Crawford has proven so far to be the better fighter because he fought better opponents, more notable opponents than Spence. And Spence also has gone through a car accident now, so he has a lot to come back and prove. But if he could come back and get that win, that would prove a lot, because to come from that car accident and to the fact that we haven't really seen him against, I mean, we saw him against Sean Porter, which was the best opponent I think he fought to date. He kind of walked through Daniel Garcia, so walked through Michael Garcia, so we don't know. We've seen him fight some good guys. He walked through those other guys, but Porter did give him the best fight, which I thought Porter would do. And as you saw what Spence, what Crawford did to Porter. So it's kind of hard to say.
Who have I been most? Errol. Of course, Errol.
You back him to do a job over Terence?
50-50 fight, but I back him. It's 50-50 fight. It's undisputed.
I see Terence Crawford winning that. I mean, he could knock him out, to be fair, but he's definitely going to win. I can't see Spence winning that fight.
I would favour Crawford because of what I mentioned, but at the same time, Errol Spence is great. Like, I wouldn't confidently sit here and try and convince anyone either of them's going to win, if I'm honest.
You got to get to Errol's body. That's the one thing I wish I had done more was go to his body. And then with Terence, it was a moment, and that moment I wish had never come for me. Terence never showed me that he that there was anything unsettling within his heart and his mind throughout the fight. And I pride myself on making fighters uncomfortable. Never once did I see Terence uncomfortable. When I went back and just analyzed the fight in my head and things like that, I didn't apply the kind of pressure that Errol is going to apply. I didn't apply that straight in your face mentality that I usually fought with. And I thought that may have been a reason why I didn't see Terence get uncomfortable. If Terence does not get uncomfortable against Errol Spence Jr., he's going to beat Errol Spence Jr. And we will have to talk about Terence Crawford the same way we talk about Andre Ward, the same way we talk about Floyd Mayweather, and in the same way we've talked about Mr. Manny Pacquiao as well.
I think after seeing their fight, Porter and Crawford, I think you've got to lean towards Crawford now, but styles make fights, obviously. Spence is a natural southpaw, Yeah, still be very interested. Everyone is still tuning in, but I think just with the way he dealt with Porter, I think you have to start leaning towards Crawford, just because of Spencer's car crash. He had a problem with retina in his eyes. I think you have to start leaning towards Crawford when you're in that fight.
Right, and who's the biggest puncher out of Spence and Crawford?
I'd say Spence.
I think it'd be interesting to see if Crawford boxed orthodox or southpaw. A lot of the time recently we've seen him switch to southpaw. However, with Errol being a southpaw already, and Errol's got a good jab, it might make it easier for Errol to close the gap and get a little bit closer if Crawford was to box as a southpaw. I think if he was to remain as an orthodox, it'd open up that distance a little bit more distance for Errol to have to transition. If Errol, I imagine Errol will be pushing Crawford back. So yeah, it's intriguing.
I like Crawford. Okay, it's gonna be a great fight. I mean, both guys got to be on their game.
I like Terence Crawford. I like his style, his IQ in the ring.
I'm a huge Spence fan. I'm a Crawford fan. But I just fancy Spence a little bit younger. Maybe the inactivity may play. The activity and being active for Crawford and having that bit of experience and activity could be the key for him. It's a real 50-50 fight. I'm a Spence fan, so I'm going to sit on the Spence fence.
It's very hard to say. Errol Spence, fantastic fighter. I'd probably give him maybe the edge ever so slightly.
I think it's a 50-50 fight, but I lean towards Crawford. I think Crawford has the edge. I don't know why, because Spence is a great fighter, but I just have to, I pick Crawford.
If you go back and watch Lomachenko and Haney and all the little adjustments that they made through the fight to try and dominate tiny little moments for each round, it's that type of fight. You can't just say he's got to do this one thing to win the fight, because they can both pose so many different questions for each other. I think it's a fight of the highest order, IQ-wise. So you can't simplify it. I think Crawford will win. I think he'll win more of those moments of little adjustments.